Our dry days are done. Rain rolling back into Metro Detroit. We're live with your forecast from Westland coming up. Karen.
Also, first at 4, a dramatic attempted robbery leads to gunshots in Warren. You'll hear from the woman who says she was protecting her stepson. The debate over reparations for slavery reignites. Actor Danny Glover applauds a former Michigan congressman and quotes Martin Luther King. Paula.
Take a look at this, an empty field, unplanted. We're going to show you exactly what that means when you get to the grocery store, because weather is absolutely going to be playing a big part when it comes to your shopping cart.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, it is one of those hot, muggy days that can bring scattered thunderstorms this afternoon, plus more rain overnight. So let's check in with Ben Bailey, who happens to be in Westland for a weather safety event. Hey, Ben.
Yeah, Karen, it is our last severe weather alert radio day of the season, but we are tracking thunderstorms. They're off to our east or our west right now, moving to the northeast. And even though we're not anticipating severe weather, we are going to see some pretty good downpours. You can see there was quite a bit of lightning there within the last 30 minutes. Looks like those storms may have weakened a bit, but there's still a lot of water packed within those, especially there north of 69 as that all continues moving to the northeast. And we've got more to go. In fact, we'll expect to see these around at least through the evening hours tonight. So be careful of that for the drive home. More rain overnight and even more rain as we go forward into the upcoming weekend. So we'll check your forecast coming up. Come out and see us. We're at the Meijer in Westland. This is your last chance to get a NOAA weather radio from our severe weather radio alert campaign this season. We'll be here until 6:30 tonight. Of course, we'll have your forecast in minutes. Karen, back to you.
All right, thank you, Ben. We'll check back with you in a little bit. 4 people are under arrest for an attempted armed robbery. This happened this morning in Warren. Take a look. Sky 4 video shows police arresting one of the suspects. Just after 9 this morning, the 4th suspect, a 17-year-old boy, turned himself into police. The 4 allegedly ambushed a man on Prospect Street in Warren early this morning. The man ran back into his home where his stepmom, a CPL holder, fired back at those suspects.
I noticed the driver had a gun in his lap, and they all had masks on. And the other guy was like, just go ahead and shoot him, go ahead and shoot him. And luckily I made it in the house.
You running toward me, my property, with a gun. What am I supposed to do?
Chasing your stepson.
Okay, come on now.
The 4 suspects will likely be charged with attempted murder, but Police Commissioner Dwyer tells us he's not happy about that stepmom firing her gun in response. So we're going to hear from him coming up on Local 4 News at 5. A Coney Island turns into a crime scene early this morning on Detroit's west side. Police tell us 2 men and a woman stormed in angry about the menu. Then one man pulled out a gun and shot a bystander in the face. A customer who was waiting for his cheeseburger. Police are searching for those 3 suspects who drove away in a black F-150. It's been exactly 1 year since Ford bought the Michigan Central Station, and today the automaker is marking the occasion by opening a new public information center in Corktown. It's designed to give residents in the area easy access to project information, construction updates, and community initiatives throughout the process. Ford is looking to keep everyone in the loop as it works to restore a Detroit icon. For the first time in a decade, Congress is talking about reparations for descendants of slaves in the United States. Capitol Police has to control a crowd of people who could not get into the packed hearing room. Kimberly Gill in the newsroom with some of the testimony. Good afternoon, Kim.
Hi, good afternoon, Karen. Reparations are a touchy subject, but the idea is getting new attention as we head into the 2020 elections. Actor Danny Glover today acknowledged former Michigan Congressman John Conyers, who kept the issue alive for years. Then Glover quoted Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Justice for black people will not flow into society merely from court decisions, nor from fountains of political oratory, nor will a few token changes quell all the tempestuous yearnings of millions of disadvantaged black people.
Witnesses spoke at length about the history of slavery in the United States and how its economic impact affected the entire country back then and the ripple effects we still feel today. On the other hand, some feel the reparations put too much focus on the past and not enough on the present.
Black people don't need another apology. We need safer neighborhoods and better schools. We need a less punitive criminal justice system. We need affordable health care. And none of these things can be achieved through reparations for slavery.
Today's hearing focused on a bill which would establish a commission to study reparations. But even if that bill makes it out of the House, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is on the record saying reparations are a bad idea. So it's unlikely anything would make it out of Congress. But we'll, of course, keep you covered. Karen, until then, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right. Thank you, Kim. Democrats say Hope Hicks is refusing to answer questions related to her time in the White House. Hicks is a former top advisor to President Trump. She agreed to testify behind closed doors, but she is following White House orders to stay quiet about her time working for Mr. Trump. The White House is claiming executive privilege. Right now, unclear if Congress will go to court to challenge that claim. And we did just talk about more rain coming, and that's exactly what Michigan farmers don't need. Today, the governor sent a letter to the Agriculture Secretary asking for assistance. Farmers are facing frustrating delays that will affect your family budget. Paula Tutman takes us on a trip from a Michigan farm to a local store to see how high prices might go.
Produce sellers are absolutely watching the weather because whatever Mother Nature does, it affects their bottom line. And when it affects their bottom line, it absolutely affects your bottom line too. Because the majority of food, whether it's for people or animals, comes from here, the ground. Take a look. This is farmer Jim Domagolski's field, and you can see there's no corn. There's no seed planted. By now, the corn should be about right here.
Mud. It's just mud.
You can see his frustration. You can feel the angst.
It's mush. And this should crumble. And you could see see the moisture on there? It's saturated.
As of last Monday, Jim Domagolski of Columbus, Michigan called off his corn crop. And now he's just trying to decide whether or not to bother planting soy.
It's wet, and if there's no oxygen in that soil, the plant itself takes an awful lot of time to tolerate that.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture is reporting that as of April, we have seen the wettest weather in a 12-month period in the continental United States. In Michigan, some crops are being planted at the slowest pace on record. At Nino Salvaggio, produce is the bread and butter of the operation. Fruits and vegetables are royalty. And so Joe Santoro, who buys produce for all 4 locations, is also watching the weather closely.
Most customers don't recognize is that the weather anywhere in the country that we would be getting any produce from affects the bottom line, retail at the store level.
Here, Michigan produce is preferred. Less in transportation costs, less time from the farm to the register, to the table, more shelf life, freshness, less cost to the consumer. But if Michigan growers can't produce enough produce because of the weather, the natural laws of supply and demand take over. Nino's has to go elsewhere. In the final analysis, consumers could see as much as a 30% increase in their produce costs by August.
It costs money for it to get here. So when it's only coming from, let's just say, 10 miles away, like Richmond, Armada, when our corn would be coming from, versus Indiana, or, right now it's coming from Georgia. If it's shipped in corn, meaning, out of state, you could say they would probably cost the consumer an extra 25 to 30%.
Yeah, and there's another piece to this whole puzzle, and that is the farmer that you met, Jim. He is a feed farmer, and when feed farmers stop producing, when they stop growing, it affects how livestock farmers can feed their animals. Again, that law of supply and demand, that means also consumers need to be aware that meat prices will also likely go up. That means it's going to cost more to fill your cart. Karen, let's go back to what you said at the beginning of that story. Governor Whitmer actually asking for disaster relief for farmers just so they can survive. When they're not planting, when they're not growing, they're not getting paid. It also affects how they fill their shopping carts and feed their family, because Michigan is a state that feeds the nation.
Paul, you mentioned Farmer Jim in terms of now he's not going to do the corn. He wants to do soy. What if we pass that window? What's going to be next for him?
Well, he just has to kind of wait and see. We do have some Michigan farmers who are actually trying to plant sweet corn. They're trying to plant some of their crops late. Don't forget, we also have peach crops and cherry crops as well. It's all determined on Mother Nature, and we just won't know until produce starts showing up in our produce places or they don't show up.
All right, a story that affects all of us for sure. All right, thank you, Paula. Now we also have an update on a story Paula brought us yesterday live from Lake Erie. Remember that live shot when she was on the boat? Well, take a look. That is where a group of paddleboarders from the group Stand Up for Great Lakes have finished Their trip across Lake Erie, their 80-mile trek, is their fourth of the 5 Great Lakes under their belt. Now, they started at Belle Isle at 9 o'clock on Tuesday morning. They made landfall in Ohio about 24 hours later. Can you imagine that trip? Their goal, to raise money and awareness for the Cooperative Institute for Great Lakes Research. Still head first at 4. Is the state of Michigan ready to deal with drivers who are high behind the wheel? AAA has a safety warning. Also, a police news conference takes a surprising turn. We have the story behind this takedown caught on camera. And the sweet sound of success. A Detroit youth choir mixes gospel, rap, and dancing to steal America's heart. You definitely want to see how this turned out. Coming up.